Unit 5, Relationships in Triangles. This is Unit 5, Day 4. We're going to talk about inequalities in two triangles. So before we get into what the theorem says, let's take a look at the triangles. We have two sides that are congruent, but we don't have an angle. So these triangles are not congruent because we don't have enough information. But what can we do with the information that we have? We can make comparisons between sides and angles and sides. So basically the hinge theorem says if the measure of angle A is greater than the measure of angle D, then side BC is longer than side EF. So let's put some numbers with this because I know you all love to see numbers. So let's just say angle A is 60 degrees. I'm just going to write 60 degrees in here. And let's say angle D is 59 degrees. So clearly angle A is greater than angle D. So what this is saying is the side across from angle A is bigger than the side across from angle D. So if we were to take and look across from angle A, we'd see BC. And if we looked across from angle D, we'd see side EF. Well, because 60 is bigger than 59, side BC is bigger. Yay! Conversely, if we notice that the sides are bigger, then the angle across is bigger. So let's take a look at side BC. So here is side BC. Let's give it a number. Let's say side BC is 12 feet. Now let's take a look at side EF. Let's say side EF is 11 feet. So if side BF is greater than side EF, then what we can conclude, is angle A is greater than angle D. So let's go across. Angle A, which is across from 12, is bigger than angle D, which is across from 11. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in numbers and we're going to compare the numbers to give us the information that we need. So let's get started. Here we're comparing KL to PM. So I don't have any information about side KL, but what I do see is that side KL is across from angle J. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the measure of the angle across from KL, and that is 79. So I'm going to write 79 right under KL. Now I'm going to look at PM. I don't have any numbers for PM, but what's across from PM is angle N, and angle N is 74 degrees. So basically I'm comparing the angles to get information about the sides. How does 79 compare to 74? You got it, it's greater. And so therefore side KL is greater than side PM. All right, let's take a look at the next one, AD. Do we have information about side AD? No, we don't. But what is it across from? It's across from 59 degrees. So I'm just going to put 59 degrees. B to C is across from 65. So basically I'm comparing 59 to 65. It is less than, so I'm going to use my less than symbol. So if the angle is less than the other angle, then the side is less than the other side. So this is how we compare sides and angles in two triangles. So you try number 3 and you try number 4 and push pause. Come back when you're ready to see the answer. So for this one, we had some work to do. We clearly can see that WX is across from 53. However, XY doesn't have an angle measure, so I had to add up the two that we have and subtract it from 180 to find out the missing angle is 55. So how does 53 compare to 55? It's less than. Okay? Alrighty, let's see what's here. The direction says if the sides of a triangle have the following lengths, find all possible values of x. So this is going to really check your algebra skills. So we don't know which side is the smallest side, so what we have to do is we're going to take these two and make sure it's bigger than the third side. Then we'll take two other sides and make sure it's bigger than the third side, and then the remaining two we'll make sure it's bigger than the third side. So we got a lot of work to do here. So we're going to start off with substitution. So AB is Okay, so here again with the substitution, AB is 4x plus 25, BC is 3x minus 2, and AC is 9x minus 5. So we're going to combine like terms. So 4x and 3x is 7x. 25 minus 2 is 23, so 7x plus 23 is greater than 9x minus 5. So we combine like terms again. 7x plus 23 is greater than 9x minus 5. We subtract 9x from each side and we get negative 2x plus 23 is greater than negative 5. We're going to subtract 23 from each side. And we get negative 2x is greater than negative 28. We're going to divide each side by negative 2. When you divide an inequality by a negative, it changes the sign, so this becomes x. Instead of being greater than, it's less than, and then this is going to be 14. So I want you to do this one and this one, working on your algebra skills. Hit play, and then I'm going to show you the final answer. All right, so the middle one, x is greater than negative 2.2 and x is greater than 4. So we still need a range of the values because we have like 3 sets of numbers here. However, when I plug in negative 2.2, it's going to make one of the sides negative. So we're not going to be able to use that in the range. So let's see. So our range is going to go from 4, let's write this down, 4 to 14. And how do we write it? As an inequality. So the third side can be bigger than 4 but less than 14. This one is a U-try. I want you to use the model that we just did to set this up. And then I want you to work through it and check your answer. So here's the answer. And here's the range of values. Plugged in negative 0.4, and it made JL a negative side, and you can't have a negative side, so we're going to use these two. Your smaller number goes on the left, and the bigger number goes on the right. Reading the directions, we're going to list the sides in order from least to greatest, and we're given the angles of the triangle. So wait a minute, they're asking us information about sides, but they're giving us information about angles? How do we set this up? Well, each angle is, in a triangle, is 3 angles, and they all add up to 180. So go ahead and combine like terms and show how you get x equals 13 for an answer. You don't get x equals 13, see your teacher so you all can figure out where the mistake is. So once you find out x is 13, you definitely want to go back and plug it into all the angles and figure out what the angle measures are. When you plug it in, you find out that J, K, L are the following angles. And then you have to list the sides in order from least to greatest. So what you want to do, this is good practice for quiz/test. So we're listing them from least to greatest. We're going to write down the smaller number, which is 29, 32, and 119. So what's across from 29? JK. What's across from 32? KL. What's across from 119? JL. And we listed it in order from least to greatest. Here we go. Yay. Reading the directions, it says list the angles in order from least to greatest, and they're giving us information about the sides. They're telling us that the perimeter is equal to 78. So to set this one up, you're going to add up everything and set it equal to 78. Try that and then hit play. Voila, here is your setup. Check back for the answer, and this will conclude your lesson.